Welcome, the Northman Coaching Podcast with Gary and AJ. Thanks for tuning in. Building a better you, shoulder to shoulder, brick by brick. Let's go.
Good evening and welcome to Northman Coaching's podcast. And tonight I'll be going solo. AJ is out of town dealing with some family matters. So you guys all know that I love going solo. So I'm going to keep this one fairly short, which is good for the people with lack of attention span. So tonight's value is going to be altruism. We have gone through all these values since the beginning. There's 68 of them, I believe, and we've been through them all already. But this is a year and a half, 2 years later, and we're revisiting them to see how things may have changed or may not have changed. So altruism is defined as unselfish, the regard or devotion to the welfare of others. So to me, I always thought altruism was doing good and expecting absolutely nothing in return. So on that note, this whole thing is going to have a little twist at the end. So when I first got divorced or separated, it was October of 2018. And November has Thanksgiving in it. And I was on my own. And my daughter was with her mother and her family. And my family does not live close. So I was on my own. And I decided, first of all, I want to make it clear, I was invited to Thanksgiving dinner at my ex-wife's home. But I chose not to go. I had to sever that. I had to cut that off to get used to being on my own. It was very difficult for me to really embrace the aloneness. I don't want to call it loneliness, but the loneness, if that makes sense. So I decided I was going to help out at the homeless food kitchen downtown, where I was going to, tie up some turkeys or get Thanksgiving meal prepared and served for the less fortunate. And I did. And it was very fulfilling. I enjoyed it. I would have gone back the following year, but COVID did not allow that to happen. So when I first did this was altruism to me. I was doing this for the less fortunate. I was doing this for the people who didn't have the means to eat, and I did. So it was for them. So it was altruistic to me. But as time has gone by, I have realized that it was not altruism at all, because the more I thought about it, the more I realized I was not doing it for them. I was doing it for me. I was filling a void. I was taking up space. I was afraid of being by myself. I was afraid of being half in a bottle. I was so afraid of so many things when I first got into this work. Yeah. So I don't think that was very altruistic. I'm not going to get too much more into that. So the other thing is, when I first started this work, we had read, the groups that I was in, we had read this book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. So a nice guy is a guy who does things to get things back. So a lot of nice guys, they think that altruism is giving to get. It's giving to avoid conflict. It's giving to seek approval. So let me go right back to the beginning. If I do this, I'll get this. Or if I do this, she won't want to fight with me. Or if I do this, they will like me. And a lot of times there's hidden contracts where you will say, or you'll think in your head, if I do this, they'll have to do something else for me. Or I'll do them a solid. Now they owe me a solid. But that's never actually discussed. So it's like a secret hidden contract. And then when these things don't come to fruition, that nice guy, he becomes resentful. Now, as I got into this work, I moved from a nice guy to a good man. And I now give because it aligns with my values. And I know that I don't give all the time. I can very easily say no. If it doesn't line up, I say no. I serve without attachment. I do not expect anything in return. And I lead and give with strength and compassion. And I always maintain my standards. My standards, I didn't like this. All of this happened in the last 3 years of doing this work. So I don't know where I'm going with this exactly, but so if you are truly going to be altruistic, you have to give because you want to give. You have to be able to say no to the things that you don't want to give to. You have to have standards, values, morals, whatever you want to call it. You have to have those standards that you stay above or at, and you do not go below them. So this is going to take a twist, because I had a conversation the other day with two good friends, and the conversation made me think, is altruism actually a real thing? And I started leaning toward that it was not, because whenever I, am altruistic or practice altruism, whether, it's within my standards or I do it because I want to, I realize that I'm always getting something back. I'm always getting that good feeling, and everybody loves that good. It's a dopamine hit. So I know that when I do something good, I'm not looking for anything from the person I'm doing it for or the people, but I am looking for that dopamine hit. I'm looking for that feel good inside of me. So I started thinking that maybe altruism was not real. Then with the conversation I had, my good friend Cliff Shuffle, and if you don't know Cliff, he's on TikTok and he has the DSM factor, which is discipline, standard, and mindset. And he does a lot of coaching and training other people to have a better life. And pretty much it's very similar to what I do. He's questioned me and challenged me on my thoughts. And he asked me if what I was getting out of being altruistic was a return or was it a byproduct of being altruistic? And he got me thinking so I went from thinking there was altruism to believing there was no altruism because I was always getting something in return. Now I am going to have to go and line up a Cliff on this one because it's not that I'm getting back. It's that there is a byproduct. So something else is being created through the altruistic work. So that was my twist. So altruism is real. And I started thinking about all the times that I'm altruistic and that I'm looking for returns other than a byproduct. And there are, but I still consider them altruism, I think. And I would love for you guys to comment and throw out there whether you think it's altruism or not. But like number one thing, checking on a friend or taking care or not taking care, that's not right. Really doing the best you can do for your child. You help your child do everything under the sun. And you know that you're not looking for a return. You know, when I take my daughter to the mall or when I drive her to the bus stop or when I open the car door for her or help her get her clothes ready for the next day, I'm not looking for her to get my clothes ready or open my car door. But secretly, maybe not so secretly, I am looking for a return. I want to see in 10 years from now that she is a productive human being and not only surviving, but thriving in society. And I can look back and say, you know what? That might be because of what I did while she was growing up. And even the work that I do with Northman Coaching, mentoring other men, coaching other men. Some of it I get paid for, but a lot of it I don't. And I do that because I know that men need help. I know a lot of men feel unheard. They feel unseen. And they go to the wrong places to find this help. They go to their friends at the bar down the street or even their friends in general. Now, that's okay if your friends are solid, like truly solid, good men. But if they're feeding into your victimhood or they're putting you down, that's not what you need. You need to bring that to real men that will hold you accountable. On that note, Northman Coaching has a brotherhood. It's called a Northman Coaching Brotherhood, and it's on School, SKOOL. So check that out on school.com. We are a brotherhood. We meet 4 times a week. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are check-ins where we are discussing our intentions for the week. Wednesday, we're discussing how we're getting from point A to point B. Friday, we're discussing gratitude and accountability. So what are we grateful for throughout the week? Where were we accountable and where could we be more accountable? And then Thursday is a longer meeting, and that's where we really open up. We start with an icebreaking question, fairly deep question, and we get into what's going on, the meat, the wins, the struggles, the praise reports, as they call them at church. What is good and then where are we struggling? What can we work on? And as a group, we hold each other accountable to take care of those things. Yeah, so check that out. And then back to the altruism, I serve at church, and I do that because it's like an extra tithe. Like I want to give back to the church. I want to give back to God. One thing that I love doing is I listen without fixing. Actually, that's a huge struggle I've had for a long time, even before coaching. Through my marriage, I wanted to fix everything. Somebody could complain or tell me something, and I was like, let me fix it. I couldn't even listen to the words coming out of their mouth before I was already trying to fix something. Now I've realized that it's not about fixing. People don't want all their problems fixed. They want to be heard. And that's what I do. I listen to the problems. If they want help, I will help, or I will ask questions so they can help themselves. But in the end, I let them help themselves. I am here to listen. And I can say that I've been told many times in my past that I am a poor listener. And I was absolutely poor. And I can say with pride now that I am actually a very good listener. And I've heard that from several people. Not that I need that validation, but it is good to know that deep within me, that I listen well. Like people talk, I listen, and I understand. I have a lot more empathy is right. Maybe empathy is, I don't know what the right word is, but I enjoy listening to people and helping where I can. So that is pretty much all I have for altruism.
This isn't just a book you read, it's a book you feel. Joel Rosario pulls you straight into the heart of a man wrestling with love, loss, identity, and the ghosts that don't stay buried. The writing is poetic without trying too hard. The characters are flawed in all the right ways, and the emotional weight hits with that slow burn that sticks. He lets the pain breathe. He lets the beauty bleed through. And he shows with a songwriter's touch how a man can break and rebuild himself without losing the heart that made him worth loving in the first place.
Available now.
If you guys enjoy this podcast, please like and subscribe. Check out every Monday through Friday. EJ and I, we have a daily devotional every morning. It's 5-10 minutes long at most. And we go over daily devotions and we relate them to the work that we do within the Brotherhood. And we also relate them to life in general. It's not just for men. It is geared toward men, but it could go toward women. You just have to kind of tweak it in your head a little bit. But it's every morning on YouTube, Facebook, it's everywhere. It's all the major podcast platforms. So check that out every Monday through Friday. This coming week, AJ will not be with me again because he is out of town dealing with family things. And yeah, so if you like this podcast, please like and subscribe. Follow us. If you're looking for another kind of podcast, that's really, really good. Check out Sessions and Lessons. Those are two of my good friends, and they have this, they call it self-help, but it is self-help, but you're not going to get the self-help you get from a book. They just talk about things in life. They are a couple, and they just talk about their life, and they help each other through it. Each episode, it's really down to earth. It's like just a conversation between two people. It always goes very well. There's a little bit of laughter, a little bit of seriousness. So check them out. That's Sessions and Lessons, and they drop a new episode every Wednesday and Sunday. Now, Glow is the wife, and every Friday she has another podcast. It's called Glowing Off Script. That is a little more deep, usually. She gets into a lot of history with personal issues and mental illnesses sometimes. Actually, a lot of times. She's really good, so check her out. She also comes out every Friday, and that's on Spotify and YouTube, I believe. Definitely Spotify. Check out, I'm not sure about the rest. And her husband, Joel, the other half of Sessions Lessons, has a book out called May, December End, The Ballad of Joey Flowers. And that is an excellent book that he put out there into the world. And it was his journal that he made to move through some difficult times that he has decided to share with the world. So I thank him for that. And it was probably the best book that I read all of last year. Anyway, I am going to wrap it up with that. So, altruism. I want you to comment, leave me messages tell me, is altruism real? Or do you always get something in return? And if you think it's real, what have you done that is altruistic? And that's I guess that's it. So yeah, so check out the daily devotionals in the morning. Those are on all major podcast platforms. Check out those two podcasts that I mentioned. Check out that book. Listen to C.E. Shuffler. He's on TikTok. He goes live. I couldn't tell you when. I can't remember when he goes live exactly, but check him out. C.E. Shuffler is his handle. And I think that's all I have. So you guys have a wonderful evening. And we will see you next week.
7 days, no obligation, just 7 days for an opportunity to make yourself a better man. Divorce, hardships, we all have or are going through it. You are not alone. Join the Brotherhood. Northman Coaching on School. Stop by today and begin the journey. Shoulder to shoulder, brick by brick. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. You are worth it. Join today.